What's up, everybody? Today's video, we got two RB2s that you need to have on your squad. Before we get into it, guys, do us a quick favor. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. Hammer, let's go.
So for my RB2, I got Tank Bigsby, and it was really interesting to see Jacksonville take him. Now, I think we all love ETN. As a top RB. Obviously he's RB1 for Jacksonville, but I think with them taking Tank Bigsby, he's going to have a really nice role. And everything we're hearing at a training camp is he's been impressing the coaching staff. He's been featured at the goal line. So I really do like him as the number 2 behind ETN. Now, ETN didn't have any real injury concerns last year, obviously coming off his rookie season that he missed entirely. So I really do like me some Tank Bigsby, and I do think that there is room for him to have a really, really nice role, particularly at the goal line. And also, I wonder how much they want to take some of the pressure off ETN having to be that 3-down back all the time, right? So I think in order to preserve an asset like Travis Etienne, I think they will want to involve. And then also, too, they may not want to run their franchise quarterback in the red zone on those 1 yard, those 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. So I do think there is a nice role for Tank Bigsby. And at 6 foot, even roughly 215, I think he's kind of that thunder to Travis Etienne's lightning, where they can use him in some really good situations. And if he finishes with 4 or 5 touchdowns on the season, that could be a really, really nice, RB2 complement to Travis Etienne. And that Jacksonville offense, you think, is going to be pretty potent. So there should be some really good goal line opportunity situations for Tank Bigsby to come in and really lighten the load on Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, particularly when it gets condensed inside that red area, particularly inside the 5.
Yeah, I like Tank a lot. They've already said kind of they want him to be the goal line guy. ETN wasn't actually very good at the goal line last year. We thought ETN was going to get more passing work. Yeah, I like Tank Bigsby. I know they want to use him down at the goal line. ETN wasn't very good at the goal line, down by the goal line last year. We thought ETN was going to get more passing work, which he didn't. So are they going to give him more passing work this year? But it's been kind of weird because the word out of camp is that they love Tank Bigsby's catching ability and that he's impressing them catching the football. So it's like, damn, what's going to happen really with this ETN Bigsby thing? But Bigsby was a guy that I had in my top 5 coming in, out of college, even before the NFL draft. So I love Tank Bigsby already. So I like the offense that he's in. He's on a good offense. And if he gets that goal line work, I think that, he can definitely do some damage and be a really good RB2. So yeah, I love me some Tank.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and listen, you talk about this all the time on previous shows where it's like, grab up those RB2s, because all it takes is one injury and we could see Tank Bigsby in a more prominent role. Now, I don't think he'll be a feature back per se, but if Travis Etienne ever misses any time, you got to believe that his role will expand. And if he is, an above average pass catcher, that really boosts his value, particularly at the RB2 position. So it seems like a really good value at this particular point, especially in startups. So yeah, Tank Bigsby really feels like he could have some really, really good value, particularly where you're getting him in your startup drafts.
Yeah, I mean, keep trade cut. They got him as RB39, worth about a mid-second in 2023 drafts. So you can get him in your rookie drafts in that second round. So worth that midish second round pick right now, and it's definitely one that's worth it. You want a running back in that offense. You want the RB2. Does he turn into some kind of Tony Pollard thorn in the side of ETN, or does ETN still get enough work where he's still the main dude? My RB2 that you need to have on your squad is going to be James Cook. I really like James Cook this year. They didn't really bring anybody in. You've got I was going to say Singletary. You've got You've got Damian Harris, you've got Latavius Murray, and you've got James Cook and Naheem Hines. Hines is more of a special teams kind of guy. So Cook is going to be the guy that's getting some work. I mean, we saw, in a few of those games last year where he got more work. He can do both. He can run the football, he can catch the football. In a high-powered offense like the Bills, I mean, you want to have a running back in that offense. Singletary's not there anymore. He got a lot of pass catching work last year too, where we thought James Cook was going to be the guy, and he wasn't. So now with this year, with Singletary gone, is James Cook going to be the guy? And if he's getting both, some rushing and some passing work, and he's getting, 12 to 15 touches combined on an offense like that, I think that's going to be really, really valuable. James Cook right now, RB27 on Keep Trade Cut. So right in the range of the Isaiah Pacheco's, Aaron Jones, A-Chain, Montgomery, Kendre Miller, Antonio Gibson. What does James Cook cost? Any of those kind of guys I just brought up is in that same range there, but an early second round pick is what James Cook would cost you right now.
Yeah, and I do like James Cook's kind of upside, and I think a lot of people, especially that Buffalo running back situation, you bring in Damian Harris. Now Damian Harris came off a pretty injury riddled season in New England, so I really think that James Cook will kind of be the in between the 20s guy. My only concern with James Cook is kind of his red zone usage, and to tag along with that, his red zone efficiency. While I do love James Cook to rack up some pretty good yardage totals in between the 20s, I'm just not sure that the Buffalo Bills, with Josh Allen down in the goal line, he will power it in there and kind of vulture some touchdowns from that running back position. And then you add in Damian Harris, who is a powerful running back who can bang it in inside the goal line. So I just wonder about his upside, and is that Buffalo offense going to support enough receiving work from that position for him to really be a tremendous value? I think he'll be a good value, but I don't know if he'll be a tremendous value just yet, depending on what I see, if they kind of work in some more pass catching work from the running back position.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to see a little bit more this year. At least, hopefully, we've said, Josh Allen has came out, said he wants to run a little bit less. So does that mean, a little bit more, pass catching work for guys out of the backfield? Does that mean, more rushing work for the running backs, right? So, even though I don't know how much Cook will be used down at the goal line, if any. I think just the pure receiving work and the rushing work that he'll get will be consistent enough to give you, good points per game. And then, you sprinkle in a few touchdowns here and there. So, just puts you in that mid RB2 range. So, a guy that you can get for relatively cheap that you don't need to spend that much on as just an RB2, or a guy that can fill in for you, coming off the bench if you're trying to make a run. So,
also, too, don't forget, like, Damian Harris does get a little banged up. So if Damian Harris does miss any time, James Cook is probably going to be a featured guy. You brought up Latavius Murray, who, is very capable of running between the tackles, but he's an extremely older back, by running back standards in today's NFL. And then Naeem Hines, who I don't even factor into the running back room. And I just want to see more work in the passing game from that Buffalo Bills offense, and I'll feel a lot better about his prospects than I already do. But I do like him as a solid pickup. I'm actually targeting him in our home league to see if I could get a deal worked out for him, because I do have Damian Harris on my roster. So if you do have Damian Harris on your roster, James Cook is an excellent target to go and get.
Especially, you brought up the point with Damian Harris, who's a guy who hasn't been able to stay healthy, which is, again, even more reason. I just feel like Cook is a guy that you're going to want on your team. Now, I'm not saying Cook is going to be the future and he's going to be some kind of 3-down workhorse, but, you know, by opportunity, especially if guys get injured, he's going to be a guy that you want. That's going to wrap it up for the two RB2s that we're talking about today. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Are you buying? Are you in on these RB2s here? But Hammer, let them know what to do before we get out of here.
Smash, like, subscribe, do it all.